everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing some wintry style nails with acrylics, because I just realised that I haven't done any acrylic videos for a really long time. So I know majority of my viewers do seem to use gel, but there is some out there that do use acrylic, so you know, I'm going to do some acrylic. But I'm going to use some Tears Beauty powders, of course, because they are amazing and I love them. And you can also get them in smaller pots now, which is brilliant. So if you want to build your collection but you're not going to use such a massive pot, or you want to start out like lighter because of cost, then the smaller boxes, the smaller ones are going to be brilliant, and I'm definitely going to pick up some myself really soon. But for now I'm using Igloo, which is a beautiful pale blue. I'm using Topaz Dream, which is a stunning pre-mixed glitter, and then I'm also using Alaska, which is a colour powder, and then I'm using this beautiful loose glitter, which is called Blue Lagoon, and it's absolutely stunning. So I'm also going to be using some shapes, so I'm going to show you how to encapsulate like metal pieces. I'm going to use some snowflakes in this set, and this is what they look like. There's different types in there as well. So as you can see, there's a few different styles of snowflakes. I'm just going to get out the ones that I want. I'm probably going to use a mixture, to be fair, so I'll just keep those ones out. So I just put the snowflakes on my paper towel, so when it comes to needing them, I can just pick them up straight away. But I am also going to prep them before I start, just so they are ready for me to use when it comes to using them, instead of having to quickly do them before my acrylic sets and stuff. So I'm just going to open all my pots first of all, and then I'm also going to be using clear as well. So first of all, what I'm going to do with these snowflakes is I'm going to bend them, because at the moment they are totally flat, so if you were to put those on a nail, the corners of them would stick up. Let me just try and... No, I'm not going to be able to show you what I mean. It's just going to keep falling out of my hand. But if you were to stick them down now, like, they would just... I'm trying to show you what they look like. I've got hair on my sleeve. They're really cute, to be fair. But yeah, they'd be a nightmare. So we're just going to go ahead and shape them first. Now, there is a little tool that you can get for this specific job, which you can get from Magpie, definitely, because that's where I got mine from. But I don't know like who else sells them, because obviously once you've got one, you've got one. You don't really need to look for more. And basically it looks like this. It's got this sort of shape, and it's got this little tool here. So what you do is you just get your shape, place it in the centre of this, and then once it's there, you can get this middle bit, place it dead on top, and then just put all of the all the pressure you can on it, and really like push it down and put as much pressure on as you can. You can either just... Have I lost it? No. I'm in a panic then, but you can either like put it in, make sure it obviously stays where you've put it, that's the main thing, and then just put it... It's a lot harder to do it that way. I was trying to show you like an alternative, but the best way to do it is literally just put it in there, put this on top, and just put some pressure on it. I was trying to flip it round to show you that you could just put it flat on a surface and then just press it down that way, but like keeping it in the same place and doing that at the same time is practically impossible, so it's actually a bad idea. Don't do that. But as you can hopefully see, once that comes out of that, it's got a slight bend to it. It would be much easier if I was able to hold it, but you're not going to be able to see really. You'll see when I place it on a nail. They are very fiddly, very, very annoying. I do try and like avoid using them, but obviously sometimes they do come in handy. So yeah, you just place it in the middle, place this on top and push down, and that's it. Or if you don't have one of these contraptions, which most people don't because they're pretty pointless, you can just get something else that you own that's rounded, and just get your little snowflake, place it on your finger and literally just push it against whatever it is. Well, obviously don't do what I've done and use something too rounded, because then it's going to be too rounded for the nail itself. So just find something that's of a similar roundness of a nail. These ones are pretty good that I'm using. I actually don't know where they're from, so I can't help. They might be from Magpie, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so, maybe eBay, I don't know, but Amazon even. But look, all I've done is just bent that round there, and it's nice and bent round now. But obviously depends on how bent you need it, like how bent the nail that you're working on is going to be. But yeah, you can just quite easily just bend it around something else. So I just do that before I get started, because then it means I can just get straight into it. I'd prefer, like, especially with these ones, these are really easy to bend, which does make this task a lot easier. Some of them are much harder, they're much thicker, and to be honest, I just try to avoid using those types because they are very frustrating and it makes it very difficult. But obviously you don't know if they're like that until you get them, and then it's too late. So it is easy with these ones, because if they are too bended, it doesn't really matter, because when you place them on the nail, you can use the belly of your brush to like pat them into place and whereabouts you want them. So that is what I will do if these are a bit annoying. But I'm going to be using the stiletto tips for this set, just because I've still got lots of them left and I haven't used them for ages, and to be honest, I just want them out of my little box thing so I can just have them, the almond ones that I've been using recently, in there. So I'm just going to use these ones, try and start getting rid of them, and then we can get started. So first of all, we're going to be doing some full nails of glitter, so and with a couple of snowflakes here and there in both of them. So first of all, we're going to be doing a full nail of glitter of Topaz Dream, and the acrylic that I've matched to that is Alaska. So I will be going into Alaska and just creating a really thin base first. Obviously, if this was a client, I'd be doing a clear base as well, but because it isn't a client, I'm not going to bother wasting my acrylic, but that is what you'd need to do. So then next time you could just file back to that clear base, and you're going to prevent staining on the natural nail as well by having the clear base down. It's also your like core powder. Obviously, not all coloured powders are strength powders. So with some of them, you really do need to use that clear base and your capping layer to build your structure of the nail, because that is literally going to be the strength. So once I've done my really thin layer of colour, I'm going in with Topaz Dream, and I can see why it's called Dream. It really is a dream. It is beautiful. I'm working quite thin because obviously if this was a real person, like I said, you'd have your clear base, you'd have your clear, like your really thin colour, and then you'd have your glitter, and then you'd also have your clear on top. So all those layers, if you do them all too thick, will end up with a really thick and bulky nail. So we're working thin with every layer, and it'll keep them looking nice and slender. So you should have like a relatively thin nail once you've finished applying like your design and clear base, and then you can build your structure and like apex and everything with your clear, because that is going to be the strength of the nail. And then I'm just going to use one more bead for this area up here. This glitter is just absolutely stunning. I love it. It's perfect for this time of year. So once we've applied that, I'm going to go in with a couple of snowflakes. So like I said, they might be a little bit slightly too bent, but it's fine. You can just tap it like I just did with your brush. Like this one, as you can see from the side, it's raised. So I'm just going to tap it down, and then that would be perfect. And then I'm going to keep that like that, just with a couple of snowflakes in there, because obviously the glitter itself is the centre of attention of this nail. And then we're going to do the next nail, which is going to be a full nail of the other glitter with a different colour underneath. So Igloo is going to be underneath this one because it matches it best. And we're going to be going in with the loose glitter that is Blue Lagoon. So we are going to be slightly different approach to applying this glitter, because obviously it's a loose glitter, not a pre-mixed, which means that we need to mix it ourselves sort of thing while it's on the brush. So first of all, I'm going to get my really thin base of colour. Igloo is the absolute dream light blue. It's a beautiful colour. It applies beautifully. It's just stunning. I absolutely love this one. So I'm just applying Igloo, just a really thin coat over the whole nail, obviously, to go underneath. If there's any slight gaps in our, what's it called, glitter application, then it won't matter because we've got a light blue under there that's similar. So we won't really be able to see any gaps. So once I've done that, I made a massive mess of it. I'm then going to go into my clear, pick up a bead, just a really small one, straight into my glitter, and then place it on the nail. I'm going to move it around slightly, just real quick while it's still relatively like wet, and then as it starts to dry and cure itself. I'm going to pop some more glitter on top. So we're really getting a lot of glitter on there for the smallest bead of acrylic, because the thicker the acrylic bead is that you pick up, the thicker the nail is going to be. So you need to like sort of get as much glitter per tiny bead of acrylic that you can. And then we're just going to place that on. This glitter is absolutely stunning. I really, really love this. I'm not going to lie, I did pick this glitter first and then decide what to do with this set once I'd chosen it. I just knew that I needed to do something with it for this time of year because it is beautiful. I had my eye on it since I bought it a while ago when it first was released. It's just stunning. And then I'm just moving it around, making sure it's all nice and smooth. Place some pieces where I want them. And then once I'm happy, I can go in with my next bead further down. It's so shiny, it's unbelievable. I'm just going to place this down here, a bit more glitter. And then once I've finished messing about with where I want it and everything as I want it, I can then apply my snowflakes again. But because I've applied this like with acrylic underneath the bead, there isn't going to be much clear on top. So there's not going to really be much for the snowflake itself to stick to. So this time, instead of putting it straight on, because obviously the pre-mixed glitters means that there's clear all around the glitter, I am going to apply this with some clear. So we're just going to pop the clear on the nail just about where I want the snowflake to be. Pick the snowflake up, place it on top of that. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I'm just going to do another one down here. And place that there. Turn it around so it's actually where I did the bending. Perfect. Okay. Then we'll leave that one to cure as well. So next up we're going to be doing a mixture of the two. So we're going to do an ombre of both of those colours. So I'm just going to get going with that. So what we're going to do is an ombre of the colours themselves first. Just a really quick one, it's not got to be perfect. So we're just going to place the lighter blue on first and pull it up while it's still able to be moved, and then we can just pull the rest down. We're not like really focused too much on an ombre here because we're going to be covering it up with glitter anyway, so it's really not important for this to be a perfect ombre. And again, we want it to be nice and thin, so we don't want to go too crazy. And then I'm going to apply the darker blue up this end, which in this case is Alaska. Get rid of him. It's always good to have two different pieces of kitchen roll or whatever you use to wipe your brush on when working with glitters. You can have one for your glitter, one for not, because I don't do that and it makes life really difficult. But we've just created a quick blend there, it doesn't matter about the blend itself. And then we're going to use Topaz Dream on the bottom half that is darker. And I'm going to just place that at the cuticle area and just gently walk it down. And then when I get further down, I can start to pull. And I'm just going to apply a little bit more, just a bit further down so we don't bulk up the cuticle area. And I'm just going to pull that as well. And then once I've done that, I'm then going to, I actually really like the way that looks, you know, I might leave it like that. Yeah, I'm not going to blend this one, I really like that. Okay, that's giving me an idea for the other two, so that's good. So, I didn't know what I was going to be doing originally on these nails, but there you go. We've figured it out somehow. So I'm going to place a snowflake up here, because I just love a snowflake. Basically, I have no other reason other than I just love snowflakes. So just put that there. It's very cute. Let's make sure it's nice and flat with that acrylic. I'm sort of like pushing some of the areas around it on top of it so it looks like it's within the within it. But anyway, I'm going to leave that one like that. It wasn't the plan, but it's good when a plan comes together that you didn't even have. So the next nail I'm going to do the same as that, but the opposite. I had no idea what I was going to do on the other two nails. This has worked out quite well, really. It is 10:30 at night and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so it's good. It's good that it's come together quite quick. But we're going to do the same thing this time, but the ombre is going to be the other way round. So we're going to do our darker colour on the free edge and blend that up. Still not really worried about the blend, but this time we are making sure that the free edge area is nice and full coverage, because obviously now we know that that is going to be on show. So we want it to be nice and full. Perfect. And then we're going to go in with the light blue at the cuticle area. And obviously this bit is just going to be covered in glitter, so it's not too important. And the blended area itself is also going to be covered, so that's not really that important either. But down here needs to be nice and clean, because we are going to see that. So we're going to apply some of the loose glitter now. I'm just popping that straight over the top of Igloo, which is this beautiful light blue at the top. Making sure that top area is nice and full coverage. And then we can start to pull down. I want him up there. Where's he gone? Just lost a piece of glitter, that's bizarre. Okay, so we're going to pick up another bead. I'm working with the clear, very wet as well. It makes manoeuvring the glitter really easy, and it also gives you time to move it about before it starts to set too quick. There's nothing more annoying than it setting before you've got everything where you want it. Or even worse, if you've got something where you don't want it and you can't move it because it's stuck. So I just need some smaller pieces for down here. I need to get rid of him, because he is just too chunky for that type of place. And then I'm going to take some of the glitter and just put it on my kitchen towel, because then I can really choose which bits that I want. And obviously we want the smaller pieces now. So I'm just going to keep playing with those until they're where I want them. And then once I'm happy, we'll just leave that be. Beautiful. I'm just going to pop a few more bits of the chunkier pieces just up here, just to make sure that that area is really nice and full coverage. Okay, so that's that one. Very sparkly. And then for the last one, we're actually going to do what I said I was just going to do that I didn't actually do. Oh, I forgot about the snowflake. I'm just going to pop a snowflake on here as well, just over here. Oh, I've dropped him. There we go. Cute. I'm just going to pop him there. So that's those four done. So now we're just moving on to the last one. And this is going to be what I said I was actually going to do. So we're going to do a, what's it called? A, like, half and half. But I've decided, instead of doing it one top and bottom, I'm going to do it sideways instead. So we're going to get the darker colour down one side of the nail. Again, this is just a base for underneath glitter, so it doesn't have to be perfect coverage, and it needs to be nice and thin. I'm just placing that there, and then we'll get some of the lighter one as well. Place on the other side. Pull that down too. Doesn't matter about the blend, don't forget, so I don't want to worry about that. And once we've done that, we're going to go in with our glitters. So we're just going to pop them again on both sides. Not worried about a blend just yet, but I am just going to pull it over slightly so there's a bit of an overlap. Every time I'm pulling it down, I'm pulling it across as well. So it just starts the the ombre process off for us before we even get to it. So it makes it easier when we do come to do it. I'm just going to place one down here, pull it up to blend it up with what's already there, pull it down as far as I can get it without stretching out too much. Pulling it over the other side as well. Then just going in with one more. And then pulling it over the other side, making sure that's all nice and relatively smooth. I'm just going to put a little bit more at the top. A bit more glitter in there. And once I've done that, I'm then going to go in and do the exact same thing on the other side. Obviously application again is slightly different because we're doing it with liquid and doing it separately, but it's still the same sort of process. So once I'm placing this one, I am making sure now that we're blending the two. So we're just making sure that each colour is a little bit over each side. And that will do the blending for us magically. To be fair, if you use like colours that go together well and that are quite like similar in effect, they will naturally blend a lot easier. So that's always a good place to start when doing ombres of glitter. Place some more. Take off any pieces that you don't want, move around the ones that you do. Get them exactly where you want them and the effect that you're looking for. And then once you're happy, move on to the next step. So I'm happy with that. I think that's really cute. I love that. In fact, I think I'm just going to pop a couple more bits just in this middle area here. Just a bit further over. There we go, now I'm happy. So once I'm happy, I'm now going to apply my snowflakes. And we're going to have a few more on this one. So we're going to have one up here. Just flatten down the clear a bit because I put a big blob on there. So I'm just going to put him there, and then I'm going to put one a little bit further down. And then again, a bit further down. Oh gosh, I've lost him. And again. Just using the metal part of my brush to flatten him down a bit. He's too curved, and then last but not least I'm going to put one down here because it's just about big enough to fit one on. I have to flatten him. I need to move it over a little bit, but other than that I'm happy. I'm just putting my thumb underneath just to support it because obviously it's just a tip, and the more I put pressure on the bottom, the more likely it is to come pinging off my blue tack. So that is that. So let's just put them all together, see how they turned out. It's obviously going to be very glittery, but that was the idea. So here we are. Look at those, so sparkly. I'm really excited to top coat them. So I'm going to go and what's it called? I'm going to cap them off camera and file them and everything, and then we can top coat them together. But I'm so excited to see how these turned out. So this is what they look like, all filed and not top coated. So I'm going to grab top coat. I'm going to use this one from Tia's Beauty. It's just for hard products though, so don't use it on gel polish. So here goes. Oh, actually no, I lied. I need to wipe over them. Tis the next day now, by the way, because it just got too late last night and I needed to eat. Just using some acetone to get rid of any scratches off the top of the surface. I'm doing that on all of them before we top coat, because then they'll be more clear and not really like scratched up and dull when we top coat. I'm really excited to see them, to be honest. I'm hoping someone will have this set on their nails. Right, there we go. Let's get my lamp. Here goes. This glitter is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. That is absolutely amazing. I love it. Right, let's go in the lamp. And next up is this one. I love how these colours go together. Really, really pleased with how they turned out. Look. Like mesmerising. Put that in the lamp. I'm looking forward to seeing this one as well. Wow. Just look at that. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Look at that. Both those glitters are just amazing. And we've got this one. Wow. I love this nail. I wasn't even going to do this. This was the accidental one, wasn't it? But I love how it turned out, so I'm not complaining. But this glitter is just stunning. This nail's going to be beautiful, I just know it. Look at that. Look at the difference between top coated and non top coated. It's just magical, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. I absolutely love that glitter. It's beautiful. So now I've top coated them all, I'm just going to wait for them all to cure. And then I will put them like on a background for us to have a good look at. So here is the finished set. I absolutely love how they turned out. I think they're beautiful. The glitters are just stunning. I think they go together really well. The snowflakes are really cute. The snowflakes I'm going to try and find. I'm pretty sure I got them from Amazon, so I'm going to have a quick look if I can find them again. And if I do, they will be on my Amazon storefront in the description box, and they'll be in the nail art section. But look, I really love them. I think they're really, really pretty. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye!